Every time I sit down in front of this camera, first there's always a feeling of I don't have anything to say. There's nothing. So I just sit here. There's usually something I've kind of been spending time with, maybe during the day. And what I've spent time with today is and I'm very reluctant, actually. It's almost a how-to kind of thing. And I don't really think that ultimately that's possible. But this, I constantly refer to you as the quiet, you as the circle, you as this here presence, you as a kind of radiance, like the sun. You is something that is beyond time, beyond the past, beyond the future. And when I'm working with people, I rarely get into a how-to. It just seems a little too far advanced. If you can just grasp the whole sense of not throwing anything out of the circle and being soft and loving to it, that's a great movement. I think probably the only way to share it with you is how when I come out to places like this, I was just actually, there's a ledge over here. I overlook the river. Can't even hear the river from here, but it's very loud over there. This is one of my winter places that I come and I just sit. It's enjoyable. It's a good winter place because these rocks, they warm up from the sun. It could be 50 degrees out there and almost 70 here. So it's comfortable. It's relaxed. There's nothing I'm fighting. I don't have to sit in any particular position. The position I'm in right now, or maybe I'll lie back like this, or look up like that, or lie on my back, or what. It doesn't matter. So I did do a video on self-inquiry and what that was about, in the sense of pointing your mind like a finger at what's here. But one of the ways that you can do that, and yeah, frequently most people have to close their eyes at first. So just close your eyes and sort of inventory your whole body, make sure you're completely relaxed, and it's almost like just feel all the space within your body. And just let yourself breathe naturally. And if there is an area of tension or holding, don't over-focus on it. So you're just sort of feeling the whole space of your body. You can feel the contact in the earth. You can feel the clothing around you, the top of your head. And then just become aware of the space that's behind you. And just keep your attention on that space behind you, almost like if you're sensing, like if there was something there. It's kind of an alertness, the alertness of as if stalking something, and you have to have your awareness behind you, above you, below you, your left, your right, and in front of you. And in fact, in the original medicine of one video, it's beauty before me, beauty behind me, beauty above, and that's what that is. So let your awareness enter the space behind you, softly in front of you, to your sides, above you, below, and just let your awareness be in all that space around you. And you could be aware of the airplane flying. Perhaps the air has suddenly gotten cool. You might have something in your physical body bothering you, a tension in your neck or your stomach, the sand under my feet. And it's all within this space. It's just kind of all there, but I'm keeping myself settled into just the awareness that isn't focused in my head. So I'm not focusing on a chakra. I'm not focusing on my breathing. I'm not focusing on something in my imagination. Because the minute you focus on something, your mind now is engaged with an object, even if it's an imaginary object. And you have now moved away from this just presence of you, which is the subject, not the object. So each time you find yourself slipping into an object, wondering about something, thinking about it, just settle back, reestablish that sense of space behind you. The space behind you is very important. It opens up, in a way, it opens you up to divine inspiration. And it takes you out of this closed, linear focus into a non-linear focus. Just by almost like seeing out the back of your head. And then in front of you. And then to your sides and above and below. And you maintain that. But it's very relaxed. It's not full of effort. And you may have to keep your eyes closed to do it. And even though there's noises, sensations, things happening, feelings, you're just this spacious awareness. This very here. You're not spacing out or anything. You're not going out to another dimension. You're completely here. Completely aware. But not aware of objects. They're there. But you're not holding on to them. So in this, you're just breathing. You can sit in any way that you like. And the sun can take you into that too. Just that, as you feel if you're out and it's the sun shining and you feel that warmth, its radiance. Just sort of let your own quiet, aware, spacious presence be like that radiance. And if you start to think, what's happened is your mind has turned away from sinking into itself in the subject to an object. And that's what happens to us in life. We are so involved in thinking, which is involved with objects of thought, that we never settle back into where that thinking comes from. And in the beginning, it may seem impossible, but the key thing, as I said in that "Who Am I?" and self-inquiry video, is that first you believe what I've just said, that that's who you really are. And that is truly you as the circle. When you bring in when you bring in something you've pushed away, you're not wrestling with it, with your emotions. You've just brought it in and you're not thinking of it. That's why you could sit as that and bring every possible thing that you could be afraid of. But it's treated as almost like an object. So if you're worried about your mortgage, if your car is breaking down, if you have a relationship with somebody and you're in an argument, you literally just bring that person in, and whatever feelings seem to be moving within that space. But that's what you're being spacious to. You're not entangled in the object. You're aware. You hear. So no matter what you're doing in life, on a bus, driving your car, sitting at the grocery store, the more you can kind of settle into that cureness, which is completely aware of everything that's happening, but not involved in it. And the more you can just spend more time there, the easier it is to spend more time. But that is the feeling of being the circle. That is the feeling of self-love. That is the true action of self-love, no matter what moves inside of you. Even though your body could be trembling and shaking and crying. So the key is to just be able to do that, or even to be able to sit here and talk and remain in that space. To be able to move through life as this. And when you can't, you notice that. You're spacious to you can't. And that's the path of the circle. And places in nature, they help us. There's a feeling here, like I was describing a frequency with the right rock in a video before. This is volcanic rock. And its presence is the same as my presence. So in a way, it's reminding me. It's my guru, it's teaching me. Just in my residing in my here-ness, this quiet, aware of the space above, below, all around, we merge. It gives to me, and I give to it. I receive the radiance of the sun, and in my radiance, it flows back. And I don't need to sit in any particular posture. I'm lying in bed. And when you could get to those points where you're doing it where it's the most difficult to do it, when you have a disturbing feeling, when something difficult has happened, when you can't stop thinking about something, and even though you try to do this and can't, it seems, just choosing earnestly the choice to practice, even though you feel like you're failing, you aren't. Slowly, slowly, over time, it's like you cultivate it, the easiness of settling into it. And that's the place before there's ideas about the world, thoughts about anything whatsoever, beliefs. And it's the doorway. It's the doorway. After what I've just described, you can't describe it anymore because you're at the doorway. That's it. And as long as you get to a point where you realize, I believe that. I think that's true. And I know pretty sure all I have to do is just find ways, whatever tools, the sun, the spaciousness, the sky, my breathing, it brings me, that allows me to settle into that. Then you are peace. You are gratitude. You are grace. You are forgiveness. You are love. All of those qualities apply to that. And that is you as the circle. And that is why the circle goes with you everywhere. And the physical circle is just a power place and a tool. You don't have to hold a smile on your face, too. It's as if the smile goes in, goes in, goes in, and then it radiates out. It's not for the world, as it comes through you and gives to you of who you are and your spine. What it is that is unique to you that gets to come into the world.